All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Richard Taylor, and I'm back with another cold case, unsolved mysterious death or disappearance here in Goldsboro, North Carolina. And this video is concerning the disappearance of one Felicia DeShell or Dyshell, excuse me if I mispronounced that name, Felicia DeShell Coleman. Miss Coleman, who was 23 years old at the time of her disappearance, disappeared from Goldsboro, North Carolina on November the 12th, 2001. So that's nearly 23 years ago. The Goldsboro Police Department, they took a missing person report. The person reported said that they had not heard from Felicia, and she had never stayed away like this in the past. Now, it is my understanding that Felicia may have had one or two children who are still living to this day. Also, Felicia was married to actually a classmate of mine, one Mr. Marcus Coleman. Now, probably a month after her disappearance, the Goldsboro Police Department was alerted to some remains that were found in the area of Bill Lane Boulevard, reportedly by some hunters who were surveying the area for hunting season. Now, the analysis of the body classified those remains of being a young black male. And the Wayne County detectives were initially unable to identify the remains. Now, 10 years later, now this is, I guess, a testament to some ineptitude by those who were involved in this investigation. 10 years later, in January of 2011, the chief medical examiner contacted the sheriff's office, and they revised their initial findings. And they said that the remains were actually from a black female in her mid to late 20s. Now, once again, this is 10 years after the disappearance of Miss Coleman. Now, this week, excuse me, not this week, but in 2020, an investigator with the Goldsboro Police Department, Investigator Sturgill, received DNA from the family of Miss Coleman, and they said that her DNA was matched to the remains of the individual that was found in 2001, thus giving the impression that those remains found 20 years earlier were those of one Felicia Coleman. However, speaking to a close member or a person who is close to the family still has doubts about those remains being that of Miss Coleman. Now, upon her disappearance, there was speculation of who may have been involved with her disappearance or her demise. And according to the person whom I talked to that was close to the family, one initial suspect, and I have to say this because, you know, this was a conversation of the time. One initial suspect but it hasn't been, proven or corroborated, was her then husband at the time, the aforementioned Mr. Marcus Coleman. According to the person I spoke to, he and Miss Coleman were married, but they also had some sort of tumultuous relationship that occasionally involved domestic violence, meaning sometimes that they may have gotten physical with one another. Now, once again, I'm not sure if Mr. Coleman was initially questioned, but according to the investigation, he was not listed as a suspect. And if he was listed as a suspect, he was evidently and apparently questioned and released and cleared of any wrongdoing. So, I don't once again accuse him as well, but that is one, I guess, rumor or one theory that was prevalent at that time. Nevertheless, it is now January the 8th, 2024, and the family has not, in my opinion, received closure due to, the disappearance of their relative. Now, there is a Facebook page that the family has created in memory of Miss Coleman, and on this Facebook page, they often reference her. They acknowledge her birthdays. I think it is her daughter, one who actually just last year stated Mother's Day is hard, but also exciting for me because my mother is not here, and I never got the time to celebrate Mother's or Birthdays Day or anything else. But happy Mother's Day to my mom, Felicia Coleman. Long live Mama, rest peacefully. So that is evidently testament to, I guess, the young age of the child that was living during her mother's disappearance. There are several articles about Miss Coleman's disappearance, but once again, there has been no definitive answer unto what really happened to Miss Coleman. And once again, my number is 919-587-7782. And as I always state, that Goldsboro, North Carolina is a very small town with very, very close relationships between the people who live here. So it is my assertion that, nothing like this happens, nothing like this goes on without somebody having some type of knowledge of what occurred. So as I always do, please feel free to call me with any information that you may have to help this family gain some closure in this manner. My number is 919-587-7782. And of course, you will and can remain anonymous, with your information. But it's all the time baffling to me that someone can go missing in this small town, and that there is no one to come forth with any information. Once again, Miss Coleman was at the time 23, and today, if my math is correct, she will be right around my same age, which would be 45 or 46. And so we definitely want to offer condolences to her family, to her loved one, and to her children. And we also offer a plea to anyone, even though it's been 23 years ago, to anyone who may have information concerning the disappearance of this mother, of this sister, of this auntie, of this friend who was no doubt loved and revered by many, because, all up and down this timeline, I see that people are, giving her her flowers, and that there's a Facebook page called Felicia Coleman, Missing But Never Forgotten, and that is the place where a lot of her family members pay tribute to her. And I'm going to pull up this page real quick. And see, but yeah, this is another one of those cold case files that just kind of baffles me. In the fact that someone can go missing from a town as small as Goldsboro, and people don't have any answers. So this case remains a cold case, and we hope that this video will garner some attention to what happened. Even if those remains were hers, we still want to know what happened, but most importantly, who did it. Who could have did it, and why. There's no sense of peace and sense of justice or sense of closure when someone disappears in this manner. But yet and still, the family has not gotten any answers as to what has happened to the individual. So once again, my number is 919-587-7782. If you or anybody has any information relevant to the disappearance of Miss Felicia Coleman, please reach out. But once again, peace and blessings, and my condolences once again to the family. Peace.